If you're listening to this, I think the smartest people are not people that go, I'm going to go with the other guy for an eighth or a quarter, or I'm going with this because the fees were $1,000 cheaper. If that's you, that's fine. Go do that. But don't call back that realtor. Don't call back that loan officer. Don't call back that, real estate attorney. Don't call back that, person that was giving you the value add, the problem solve, the customer service, the education, and has the reputation. Don't call them back and say, well, let me pick your brain and tell me everything you know and not use them. Look. Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Getting the Cash Flow Game with K and K. And today it's just K again. We're trying to get K back in here soon. But today, guys, I wanted to jump in and talk about pain points in the market, this new NAR lawsuit, commission lawsuit. But overall, is it really about the lawsuit, or is it really that the industry has spoken, the consumer has spoken, and maybe they want more? Maybe they want to know what they're getting. Maybe they don't really realize the value of a real estate agent, a buyer's agent, a seller's agent. Maybe they just don't know. Yes, if you've been in the real estate game, if you bought and sold properties, if you're a real estate investor and you work with a lender, you got your title, your escrow, you've got your inspector, your contractor, you've got your realtor, your buyer, seller's agent, right? You probably are kind of like, this doesn't make sense. The person I've worked with for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 1 year, 2 year, they've helped me with this. They got me a great deal and they negotiated this. They caught this. They saved me from this. They talked me out of a deal because of this, or they talked me in a deal because I didn't see the value here. I really think that the market is wondering, what is the value we bring? So today I wanted to talk about a few things, because what's been on my mind, what I'm hearing a lot, what's going on is, obviously we are in a high rate environment. We are also in an environment where you're going to start seeing more and more people come back into the market. That means more money, more investors, more home buyers. That means you're going to have more deals, more transactions. That also means you're going to have more scenarios. Then you're going to have more problems. And with problems comes, I need a problem solver. Whether that's a real estate attorney, what's our title or escrow, whether that's an insurance. Hey, I can't get insurance on this property in California. I got to find the right broker. I got to find the right company, right? Maybe it's a loan officer, right? Hey, Kenny, I'm having challenges with my income, or trying to get this property qualified, or I've got a tough situation here. Can you help me? So we can, in the real estate transaction world, whether it's, a buyer, a seller, a mortgage, whatever, we bring value to the table. And so today I wanted to go over five value props, 5 value things that if you're a client, if you are a real estate agent listening to, if you're a mortgage guy listening to this, if you're just a potential soon-to-be homeowner, first-time home buyer, if you're anybody that is looking to get into the real estate game, whether you've been there, you might not know about these 5 things. You might agree, you might disagree, you might say, hey, I would think about other things. But I'm kind of seeing 5 things from 20 years of experience that I think anybody should be bringing to the table that would separate themselves, that would bring enough value. So whether there's a commission lawsuit, whether there's this or that, it really doesn't come down to price. It doesn't come out of commission. It's just like I always tell people, I'll use this scenario. Here in San Diego, we have a movie theater called The Lot. And so you might have one where you're listening to. What The Lot is it's like a 5-star movie theater. You go in there, the concept is you go in there, you sit down, you relax in your recliner, you put your feet up, you hit the button. If you want to order water, candy, popcorn, hamburger, you can, it's like you're at a restaurant sitting down watching the movie. If you want to order a beer, a glass of wine, a cocktail, your kids want to order a milkshake, it's there. And then by the time you get out of that place, you step back, you relax, you watch the movie with your, significant other, by yourself, with your kids, whatever it is, you're enjoying an experience. And then you walk out of there and you're like, holy crap, we just spent $150 watching a movie. And I laugh because I remember when I would go to the movies back in probably the 80s or 90s, we would buy our tickets. We were not allowed to buy anything else because everything was such a ripoff. My parents were like, we're not going to spend $5 on popcorn or a drink. And I get it. We're going to bring in our own candy. I get it, because we would go to the 7-Eleven. We would go to the candy store before, pick out the candy we want, go in the movie theater, watch the movie, and that would be it. And my mom and then would probably spend $5 a ticket. And we used to complain about $5 popcorn or saying, oh my gosh, I go to the movies and I spent, $40. But today we don't go there and complain. We go back to the lot or whatever this is that you might do. And we'll go spend 3-4 times the amount of money. Why? Because we're paying for the experience. We're paying for the customer service. We're paying for the convenience. We're paying for the luxury. We're paying for the seats. We're paying that the theater's not packed. Like, you are paying for something where apparently you just don't care. If you're going to go stay at the Ritz-Carlton or the Best Western, there's a difference in the two. You're going to pay a lot more, most likely, for the Ritz-Carlton, the Best Western. If you walk into the Ritz and you pay more, you are going to expect more. So when it comes to any service business, I think it's the same, right? So here's 5 things that I think are necessary, that I think are going to be really relevant moving forward, whether you're a loan officer, whether you're title escrow, whether you're lender. And the U.S. consumer, the industry is saying, you need to step up your game. You need to provide more value. You need more to the consumer. If not, no problem. You're going to get washed out of this business. When the times are tough, those who add the value in these 5 things typically actually increase their business, do better. And those that really are here just to make a quick buck, aren't doing the work, aren't putting the extra time and effort, aren't giving back what they need to their current clients, their past clients, whatever it is, and putting education out there now that we have online, like, making podcasts like this, YouTube videos, Reels, Instagram, all that stuff, you're going to get left behind. And so I'm going to go through the 5 things real quick, and then we'll break them down, and then I'll end with a couple statements. But that's really what I want to talk about today. It's on my mind because I get so many deals that fall out. I get so many referrals, so many things like that, where people are looking to talk to the right person. They're like, Kenny, I've been wanting to talk to you like you. I've been wanting to meet you, whether they meet me off a YouTube video or a podcast or a referral, or maybe somehow they've got me, right? Because I'm out there. That is why I'm out there. I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to put my voice out and share my knowledge, my experience, and all the experience I had. And I always tell people this: I'm no better than the loan officer that just started. The difference from him and I, or him and me and her, is merely 20 years of experience and all the stuff that I've done in real estate. That's literally it. Because there's people that come into business, whether they're a loan officer, whether they're an agent, I'll pick these 2 categories. They crush it. They're killing it. They're bringing some value. And trust me, I'm learning from them. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? How are you doing that? That's insane, because they've obviously figured out something that's moving the needle, something that's getting people's attention. So number 1 is, what value add are you bringing to the table? People, when they work with you, they hope that you're going to make their life better than easier. And don't get me wrong, guys. Let's just stop here. If you have a difficult client, if you have a difficult file, if you have a difficult lender or transaction, it might feel difficult, but we might make it better than somebody else. If we get you to the finish line, it's difficult, but we already know it's difficult. If you're a difficult client and you're a pain in the butt, I'm just being honest, and you got to pick and nick and nat at everything and just be like, you know who you are, you see those people, it's fine. You're going to make it more difficult. That's just what it is. If you want to say, I got to read through every page, go through every fee, and criticize everything and comment about everything, cool, no problem. But you're going to make life more difficult. It's harder to work with you than somebody that's done this 20 times. It's just like, yeah, I trust you, Kenny. And yeah, I know you're going to fix the fee, or that was wrong, or this. You'll make it right, because I'm not going to sign anything that's not right. But I'm not going to complain about the wrong of some little fees off, or somebody messed something up in a transaction that's minor. So what value do you bring to the consumer? Number 2, what problems do you solve? Do you know what problem you're solving in the business? And we sat down and actually went through this, Crystal and I, with a brand building thing many years ago. And we found out that we solved the problem of insecurity. Most people that are getting loans or coming to this, they're insecure because they're not sure if they can get approved. They're not sure if they can buy this house. They're not sure if they can refi or buy that investment or do this transaction or do that, right? They are just not sure. So they're coming to us with that insecurity, and they're saying, here's my issue, here's my scenario, here's my problem. You need to solve it and bring me confidence that you can close it. Then I gain confidence that I can move forward with this transaction, whatever it is. Number 3, customer service. Are you there? Are you there? Can I call you? Can I call your team? Are you going to respond to text? Are you going to respond to email? Or are you available on the weekends? Can you talk later? Can you talk early? Look, do you know how many people that literally like, hey, Kenny, I work in this LO. They just terrible. They never call me back. And I hear this and I go, what? And I get it. That's why I have a team. That's why it's not just me. There's other people on the team that can respond, that can react, that can get back to you. So that is super important to customer service. Just like I mentioned, the Ritz-Carlton, the lot versus, the going to a regular movie theater. That customer service is what people want, right? They want to know you're there. They want to know you care. They want to know you're available. And some people are going to require a lot of customer service, and some people are kind of like, hey, I don't really need to communicate much, just get my stuff done. I don't really need to hear from you. I'm busy with life, with kids, with family, with work, whatever, and you go do your thing and I trust you and you got this. Number 4, what I believe we need to bring and what people are looking for is they want to know, are you educating me through the process? And then would you have knowledge? Like, are you educating? Can I go on your website? Can I go on your Instagram? Can I go on a YouTube? Can I go on a podcast? Do you write blogs? Like, what do you have that when we talk on the phone? Or am I pulling stuff out of my loan officer, my agent, or is my loan officer and my agent pulling stuff out of me and bringing value and being proactive with the conversation? That is critical. That is huge. I hear it all the time. I talk to a lot of people. I know what's out there. I know what competition's out there. I know what people, if you're not growing, you're not getting educated, and you're not knowing what's going on, how are you going to pass that knowledge to your client, customer, whatever it is, your referral partners? They need to know you are in the know, you're knowledgeable, you know what's going on. And number 5, last but not least, is your reputation. What are people saying about you behind your back? What are your reviews saying? What are people saying when you're not in the room? What if they go call and talk to somebody else if you got a referral? So people want to work who they know, like, and trust. So maybe they don't know you, but they have a best friend that used you, or they have a client that used you, or they saw you and they watched 4 podcasts or consumed a bunch of your content and said, this guy seems knowledgeable. This guy seems smart. This girl seems like she knows what the hell she's talking about. I want to work with somebody like that. That's how your reputation, so people can get to know you. And when you wrap all this bundle up and you go, what is one word that takes all this together and equals to the consumer? It literally equals confidence. You need to exude confidence to the client, to the customer, to the industry, to everybody around you, that you have the ability to educate, the ability to close the deal on time, the ability to deliver, good pricing, good products, right? So as you know in here, I didn't mention price because price is important for people. But look, if I go to a lender and they can get me a crazy low rate, but I can't get a hold of them, they're never available, I don't know if they're going to be able to close on time, and they're super flaky and they're not knowledgeable, they're rude, whatever, because they just like, well, we have low rates and you're going to have to put up with this other crap. Sure, there is enough people that will go put up with that crap and deal with that. But there's also a lot of people that are just like, I'm not going to put up with that because this is ridiculous.
We've been working on this for the past few months.
We always want to bring as much value as we possibly can. And our partner, Prime Corporate Services, is all about bringing you a service you can't get anywhere else at a price you can't get anywhere else. Whether you're new to owning a business or owning a property, or you're an experienced property owner or investor, Prime Corporate Services is not only going to help you, but they're going to make the process so much easier. So if you book a call, the first thing they're going to do for you is help you understand what your business structure should look like, your corporate structure, tax planning, estate planning, all of that. Maybe you're saying, I'm brand new to starting a business and all this sounds foreign and complicated. Remember, this company helps new people just getting started every day. They're going to help you form the entity that's best for you and walk you through the process. Before I found this company, we paid thousands of dollars to other attorneys, CPAs, and consultants to try to understand exactly how we need to be structured to be as protected as possible. We've also gone the other route and used online platforms to form entities which unnecessarily put us at risk. You guys, you don't have to do that with this company. They'll do all of these things for you at a reasonable price, so you never have to think about saving money at the expense of exposing yourself to liability. We've searched high and low, and you will not find this much value anywhere else. All you have to do is schedule a free call today. Just go to primecorporateservices.info/GITCG. Once again, that's primecorporateservices.info/GITCG. We'll also leave the info for you in the show notes.
If you're listening to this, I think the smartest people are not people that go, I'm going to go with the other guy for an eighth or a quarter, or I'm going with this because the fees were $1,000 cheaper. If that's you, that's fine. Go do that. But don't call back that realtor, don't call back that loan officer, don't call back that, real estate attorney, don't call back that, person that was giving you the value add, the problem solve, the customer service, the education, and has the reputation. Don't call them back and say, well, let me pick your brain and tell me everything you know and not use them. Look, there's a reason why they're at the top of the game. There's a reason why they got referred to you. There's a reason why you should pay them, because you're a customer. When you call and you need something, they got you. When you move in your house, you're like, hey, this happened or that happened, and I need to call you or talk to you. They're knowledgeable. There's a reason why, if you have never bought a piece of investment property, or never done anything, and somebody's going to call you and you're like, ooh, can I add value to them or not? Like, somebody that is buying investment property, building a portfolio, they should work with a lender that has done that, or works with people, or a realtor that's done that, or works with a lot of people. Because when you get in a situation, whether it's a tenant problem, an insurance problem, maybe a situation with a property, and you've never dealt with it, you're like, well, I'm going to call Kenny, or I'm going to call Crystal, I'm going to call Joe, Mary, whatever, because they've been here, they've done that. And I guarantee you, he'll have a recommendation, he'll have an answer, he'll have some feedback, but really he'll give me some confidence on how to deal with this situation, because he's probably dealt with it, or he's had clients deal with it, right? And so this is how I see the consumer. This is how I see the industry going. And we always know this is, the consumers want more value. They really, really do. And they're expecting it. They're demanding it, and they want to know what they're going to get. In the mortgage industry, obviously, they cleaned house because they came in, changed the comp plans. But really what they did is, I think they weeded out the weak LOs. They weeded out the people that were there for the wrong reason. They weeded out the LOs who were there to make a quick buck. And the strong stayed around and said, like, I'm not going to let, because they're going to change the comp plan and how we get paid and all this. And trust me, it was weird. It was gnarly, because when you do things one way, just like they are with this real estate for a long, long, long time, and all of a sudden you're going to change it, it's disruptive. It's hard. It's are we going to make this work? So when you do that as to a whole industry, it does take time to correct. But look, we're here 14 years later, if you can believe it. Wow, it's crazy. Since that big change, we survived. We're here. We're not going anywhere. It only made us stronger. It only made us better. It only made us more competitive. And it only made us grow as LOs and our standards. Not across the board for everybody, but for most of us. So I'm not scared for real estate agents. I'm not scared for clients and borrowers. Washington State has already implemented this since January. They're saying that, I think 92% was the fact. I'm not sure 100% on that, but it was over 90% sellers are paying for the buyer's commissions, buyer's agent commissions. So I think we're going to see a trend like that. Yes, you might see more transparency in the industry. Yes, you might see more documentation, which is great for both parties, so people know what they're going to get. And look, if you're watching this and you need to step up your game, you've got a weak game, it is what it is. There's no point to get defensive. There's no point to get frustrated or mad. What you need to do is, if you're not working with the team and you're not aligned with somebody, you need to go get around people that are doing this the right way. The people that are winning, that are not scared of this, that know, oh my gosh, we're going to thrive in this environment because this is exactly what I want. I want more transparency. I want to lock a buyer in an agreement. I want to know what I'm going to make. I want the buyer to know what I want to make. I want the buyer to know what expectations I'm going to bring to the table, that they signed it. So you can't say, hey, you didn't do all this stuff. It's like, absolutely, I did. So I think it'll add more transparency. I think it'll add much more confidence to both sides. And yes, is it going to be weird and uncomfortable because you haven't done this? Absolutely, just like anything else. But that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. So in closing, guys, that is it. And I will leave you with this. If you have been denied by a bank, if you have said you can't buy this, if you had said you can't refi, you can't do this, or you can't do that, maybe that bank, maybe that lender is correct, but maybe they're wrong. Maybe they just don't know. Maybe they don't have the experience. Maybe they never had a client that has done what you want to do. So maybe instead of giving up, maybe instead of saying, I think I'll just forget about that house hacking, or forget about adding that ADU, or forgetting about this, maybe we should focus on saying, hey, maybe I didn't talk to the right person. Maybe I didn't get the right advice. Maybe that person has never done a deal like that, or they don't know where to go. And that's why I will tell you, don't give up on your hopes and dreams. Don't give up on your deal. Don't think it can't get done. Call somebody or ask people around you that have worked with a good agent, a good loan officer, right? I'm just speaking in general, that have helped them accomplish their goals. You're like, hey, who do you work with? Like, cause you have tough, like call around, ask around, call me if you're listening to this. Yeah. That's why I get referrals is people need to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, that has experience and all this stuff that can put you in a position to win and to close the deal. There's a lot of deals I get that are just not able to get done somewhere else. They land on my desk. Am I able to do all of them? No, but it's a very high percentage that we close. It's not always easy. It's not the easiest path, but it gets done. And we accomplish and we help out clients to get them, in a spot where they can either make it work for now until rates come down and put them in a better spot. We get them in a spot where they get that cash out to deploy to build that ADU or fix that problem. We are able to make their income work or figure out how to structure it or whatever it is to buy that property. Or we say, hey, your kid can buy, you just have to go on there. Or, whatever it is, bring your scenario, bring your situation. You can always hit me up. The best way is just, you can 619-302-2020 or email me, Kenny@Simpson-team.com. Yes, this is a little push or little promo to hit me up. But look, guys, the reason why I'm saying this is I meet people that have been sitting around trying to do things for 3, 4, 5, 6 months and they can't get it done and dilly-dicking around with people that don't know what they're doing. And no problem. Like I said, the agent that works with a first-time home buyer is not the agent that you're going to work with and say, hey, I want to go build a real estate portfolio and buy 20 units. I'm not saying they can't do it, but do you think they're going to have the same experience as the guy over here that's helped 30 clients built that kind of portfolio? No, they just not. So like the loan officer that you're calling at the bank that deals with W-2 cookie cutter files and you're asking, why can't you get my file done? And my money's in here getting upset because he's just not the guy. You got to go to somebody else. So it's just like that in life. You go to one mechanic for your car. He says, I can't do it. You go to another one, it gets done. It's just like that in everything, right? So I think we need to take a step back and realize we're in a difficult lending environment because look, the banks don't want to lend right now. They don't. Even the portfolio, it's very tough, especially for investment and stuff. And so if you're listening to this, if you're a real estate investor or you got complicated taxes or you went from W-2 to self-employed or self-employed to W-2'd, or you got debt to income issues, reserve issues, whatever the issue is, a quick call, a quick email, a quick text can really either say, hey, you're not going to get this done or put you on the right path. And that's really what it's all about. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Reach out if you need me. But anyways, guys, I always appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And look, please share this because this really, if this resonates with you, share it with somebody else. Also, hook us up with a 5-star review. Hook us up with, I'd love to hear your comments, feedback. But anyways, is there anything else you guys want to hear us talk about? Let us know. And I love doing the podcast to give value back to you guys, keep you knowledgeable, education. Also what I'm seeing from the ground level of being in this business day to day that you might not see as a consumer or somebody out there, a third party that's listening to this. So anyways, if I can help, reach out. Talk to you guys soon.
If you're already a real estate investor, you know that aside from cash flow, you also get huge tax benefits by investing in real estate. But are you taking full advantage of all the potential tax benefits? We've been working with Tim Looney at CSSI for a few years now, and he's saved us and our clients hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in taxes doing cost segregation studies on their properties. Let me give you a few examples. We bought a property in 2019. If we had just used straight line depreciation, we would have saved about $18,750 in taxes. But because we did a cost seg, we saved $258,000. That's $239,350 more than standard straight line depreciation in the first year. The other great thing is, if you're classified as a real estate professional, you can apply this to other sources of income like W-2 or 1099 income, and you can also roll over any unused depreciation to future years. If you've owned your properties for a few years already, don't worry, you can still do a cost seg and save big on your taxes. This is not tax advice, so consult your CPA to see if you qualify to take advantage of these benefits. Call or text him at 318-469-9861 to get your complimentary property analysis. Once again, that's 318-469-9861. And I'll also include his information in the show notes. You guys don't want to miss out on these tax savings.